What's up YouTube, Surgical Ninja here with more accessory kind of reviews. This is Final Fantasy release week. So I kind of wanted to go over something pretty cool. I could not for the life of me find any Final Fantasy type accessories. Like everything was either sold out or I couldn't find anything. I did end up pre-ordering something from Dueling Guard, which is a whole other video for Final Fantasy stuff. So while I wait for that, I was like, I kind of want some Final Fantasy accessories now. So I thought, what if I just made my own? Because I have 3D printers. I have a resin printer, I have a FDM printer, I have a Bamboo Lab for that. So any like little tiny pieces I could just resin print, and then FDM for the stuff that can take a beating. And lo and behold, we did. So we made some cool things here. This is from a Patreon, some random Patreon. I just gave him $5 for this file. It's like a Game Boy type deck box. Very cool. And I like how this functions. You just pop out so this is locked, right? So this is very locked. And you can just pop out the game, which is magnetized here. You see the magnets? The magnets just pop out. And, oh sorry, I should probably show you how to open it. So the magnets pop out to unlock the deck box. This can now slide out because this was locked in place via the video game cartridge. And it reveals the insides of the deck box. So you could fit your commander in there. You could slide your commander deck in here. You could put your commander in that little slot right there. So it shows as kind of like the game screen. And then you could put like tokens or whatever you would want in there. So yeah, this is pretty cool. This printed pretty quick too, like within 12 hours for everything, I believe, and that was at fine details. Because as you could tell, this you could barely see lines. There's some like little shaver pieces showing, but there's barely any lines. Look at that, it's clean. Some lines I could see are maybe on the bezel here and on the D-pad, but besides that, everything else looks smooth. Like look at that marbling gray. This looks amazing. And my plans to update it, I'm gonna put like, just print out something and then just glue it onto here. Some kind of image, like maybe like a old school Final Fantasy game art. Make it look like the actual game. So this is pretty cool. I was surprised by this. This is amazing. We'll show off the red one real quick. Of course, you have to have the red one. And then I just did all the buttons. So this one was more of like a classic Game Boy. These are like the actual button colors, I guess. So yeah. And then this one I just did black and red, just for contrast. Damn, there's a fly and it's straight up just attacking me. Yeah. So this is red. And this filament is cheap. It was like the cheapest one I could find on Amazon because I just wanted to experiment with it. And it actually turned out pretty well. Like it's clean. This is just a random mark. But it's smooth. You could barely see any lines. I actually can't see any lines, but the lighting's pretty bad here right now. So this pops out. Also, these magnets aren't even glued in. They're just pushed in. Like he designed this perfectly to where the holes were just a little smaller than the magnets. And then I just forced the magnets in and they're straight up stuck in there. So it's, straight up zero like work, I guess you could say. Zero labor to figure it out. Yeah, that magnet is strong. Very good job. I'll put a link in the description for these guys down below. Very good work on the design for this. Props. Okay, so now we'll go over something. Let's put these ones this. Let's go. Yeah, let's go over something not as good. So this is a Blitz Ball. So these two, this is obviously a Buster Sword, and this is a Blitz Ball. These files came from 3D Cults, the purple site, and a little disappointed in this one. This one looked really cool. I'm gonna put my Titus deck in here, but the second my Dueling Guard deck boxes come in, I'm switching out of this and probably just gonna sell this locally for the cost of the materials. But yeah, this is pretty cool, but one major thing, he designed this to where it's not very strong. So I do not trust putting my deck in this. So I would bring this for an event to show it off. But I would not trust this to actually protect my deck. So like, I'm just gonna slide it. So there's like nothing protecting you from just sliding it off, right? Like you can hear the magnets engage, but there's nothing protecting this from just sliding off. So what I think it needed was some kind of, maybe over here, it needed some kind of thing to stick up. And then on opposite side, he should have put a hole for it to slot into, and that would have made it some kind of like security mechanism to just stick together. But right now it just slides off, and I would not trust it. Also, in addition to that, he also should put two more magnets here on this side and 2 more magnets here. Actually, I would put 2 magnets here, and then the locking mechanism on these sides. And I think that would have made a way better, stronger connection point. Also, because there's such a large gap here, when printing it, it prints from bottom up. This was such like a ragged surface on both sides. So what I ended up doing was I cut to shape this felt material, which I used for some custom deck boxes, custom dice trays that I made for my wormwood table. So I had a bunch of these left over, so I just put these felt protections down to protect my deck. So it's way protected now. That simple addition of this felt made it strong, I guess. I'll put a link in the description for these files and also for that felt in case you want to use that for other projects. But yeah, also these magnets to make it stronger, I actually doubled up to increase the magnetic strength. So it was way weaker before. Oh, look at this. You can see it like jumbling. Like I would not trust my deck in this. I say that and I'm still gonna put it in here. But it's still like a pretty cool thing. It's a freaking Blitz Ball, you know what I mean? So, all right, so we'll put this to the side. Now here's something also pretty cool from the same Patreon or 3D Cults guy. It's a freaking Buster Sword. So he actually has a life-size Buster Sword. And yeah, you could fit 2 decks in here, but I don't think it would fit 2 commander decks. I'll show you why. So you open this up and it fits, there's slots for 2 decks and some dice. And you actually could magnetize it. There's a magnet point, let me see if I can show it. There's a magnet point there at that tip, but you don't really need it because the friction of this sliding in, it's not gonna open. Literally, I'm shaking the F out of this and this is not opening. And if you actually put your commander deck in there, it would cause even more friction and this is not gonna open. So I trust this without opening. The only downside is because it keeps sliding, you're gonna damage this part here, but you don't really see it, so it's fine. I was gonna paint it, but I don't want to anymore. I think it's fine just as it is. So just all black FDM printed. I probably could have increased the quality, but I just wanted to print it. I actually printed all these pieces at once. So there's 3 pieces. This twists in. This is pretty cool mechanism actually. So good job on this hand piece. Yeah, he actually gives you 2 hand pieces. You could print this one, which is life size, or I mean functional. And then he has a thicker one, which is like this thick. And you could put dice in here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You just twist that back on. So you could actually just undo this. And you know what? I actually think I have some made. I'm gonna step away from the camera. Totally unprofessional, not even gonna cut out, but I'm gonna show this other handle. All right, so back on camera. So we're gonna unscrew the functional one. So here's the functional handle and here is the dice handle. So it's about double in diameter, yeah. There, you just screw it in. And the bottom of the handle actually unscrews itself and you could put like dice and stuff in here. So that's pretty cool. And I like that you have the option to do either or. So like you could just switch it out whenever you want. You don't have to glue it in or anything and then ruin the print. So that's pretty cool. Like it. This is a cool piece. Maybe I will paint it because these are like where the material go. I can paint that whatever color I want. And then these edges here are gray or metallic. So it would be both sides. And then just dry brush the rest of it, kind of dirty it up with some silver. And yeah, that's that. So that is that. And then the last piece, pretty cool. This is like the showstopper, a freaking Gigantuar. It's not even a Cactuar, but you do have the option to make a Cactuar if you want. But it's a freaking Gigantuar. This is a freaking boss in every Final Fantasy game, and it's just awesome. So I used a bamboo printer, by the way. It makes it really easy to do multicolor stuff. So this is the stand. I printed it in one go, and you literally just select the pieces that you want to print in different colors. So I used this leftover marble FDM, and then I printed the bottom of the base in black. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. That is awesome. And then here we go with a Gigantuar. So this is actual free file, and you could find this online. I'll put a link in the description below to this. But I kind of think I think you actually have to have a Bamboo account. So I don't know if this will work or not on non-Bamboo printers, but let me know in the comments below if you can. He did a special setting where the texture is kind of fuzzy to hide the print lines, and it kind of looks like professional, as if it was not even 3D printed. He also, even though this is a free file, he's like constantly updating it to perfect it with supports and settings. And he even did this. So the legs were originally twist on, but the problem with that is that because it's twist on, the legs would be in a different orientation all the time. So he changed it actually to this. He made it a locking mechanism. So because it only locks in a specific way, you grab the arms and the legs, and it will always lock in the perfect position, I guess you could say. So that was pretty cool. These little bits I printed separately in black and then just glued them in. Amazing. They're not going anywhere. Let me show you the bottom real quick. Sorry. And I like that you really have to put strength in it to open it so it doesn't go tumbling anywhere. Here's the bottom, a little crappy printing, I guess, on the bottom, but this is for like dice, so I don't think I care that much. And I'd probably put it in a dice bag just so to soften the rattling of dice in there, and you could fit it in there. But the top printed pretty good, smooth. So we're going to close that back up. If I could get to it. There we go. And then the top is different. Actually, I kind of wish he did the top as a locking mechanism also, just to make sure it's secure, because I don't really trust these magnets attachments, I guess. But this magnet is the way he designed it is way stronger than the Blitz Ball one. And don't forget, these are two separate makers for these files. So you can see here. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This is a better locking mechanism than the Blitz Ball. Ooh, my felt is coming off there. So he put two locking mechanisms here to kind of hold it in place to make sure it does not slide off. So this cannot slide off. You can see it's very stable. Like you just pull this off, and then there's that satisfying click when you put it back on, and it auto finds itself because of that little ridge. So yeah, there's that. Fits your deck box here. And I put felt down below as well because I had it, and why not use it? I might have to redo the felt here because I think this folded over each other. But yeah, very cool. And then the stand just slots into this here. And then you could just stand it like so. You just stand it wherever. So this is cool. Even if I stop using this, I'll just put it on my shelf next to my Final Fantasy stuff in my room, and it'll look cool. So yeah, that is that. These are my self-made Final Fantasy themed deck boxes. So you can do this yourself if you have the printer, or maybe you have a local that can make these for you. All these files I'll put in the description below so you can make these yourself. And I hope you guys had good pre-releases and had sick pulls. Hopefully you got one of those 77 chocobos. Peace.